Hey everyone, my name is Anthony Cofrancesco from BrainyFlights.com, and today I wanted to take a minute to talk about the Delta SkyMiles credit card from American Express, the Platinum version. So if you've seen some of my other videos, I walk in depth through the other Delta SkyMiles cards. The Platinum version is the upper mid-tier, and it has an annual fee of $195 for the year, but Delta does a pretty good job of offering some benefits that kind of justify that pretty high annual fee. So right off the bat, the sign-up bonus on this card can be pretty good. If you go onto the American Express website right now, you're gonna see that the sign-up bonus is only, I believe, 30,000 miles. That being said, I would never ever recommend that anyone go and get this card with a sign-up bonus of 30,000 miles. When I personally got the card, I think the sign-up bonus was 60,000 miles. I've seen it all the way from 50 up to 70,000 miles for the sign-up bonus. So also, American Express tends to give a $100 statement credit for getting the card. I find that to be really valuable. So in addition to getting the sign-up bonus, you're also getting an extra $100 credit once you spend money on Delta within 3 months of having the card. So I'd say that's a pretty big win. Now, the next thing that is really valuable about the Delta Platinum card is the fact that you have the ability to pay with miles, right? So that's a perk that you get on the gold card that carries over as well into the Platinum card. So that is a very valuable perk. But I think probably the most important perk of the card is the fact that you get one free round-trip companion pass after you renew the card for your first year. So let's think about that for a second. The annual fee of the card is about $195. The companion ticket has to be used on an economy flight inside the United States, right? So you can't use it to go and fly to Hawaii. You can't use it, from what I understand, to go and fly to Alaska. It has to be within the contiguous 49, I guess, United States, and not 49, I'm listing out two. So it has to be used within the continental United States. And here's my thoughts on that. A lot of people look at that and they say, okay, well, I'm paying $200 of an annual fee for the card, but I get that one round trip certificate. I would say the thought here is good, but make sure that that is already something, that round trip flight is already something you're planning on doing. What's happened to me, and the reason why I canceled this card, is because I had the card, I kept the card to my account anniversary just to get this companion certificate, and then I found it very kind of frustrating and annoying to actually go and use it. And here's the reason. It has to be an economy fare, a normal economy. It can't be a basic economy ticket, and it has to be within inside of the United States. As much as I love Delta, I really don't fly them that often, and I think they're usually not the best deal. Usually I think they're priced about 15 to 20% more than every other airline. They tend to be pretty expensive. Now given, the class of service is pretty high, but the price can be high as well. So in my case, I was able to use the round trip certificate for a ticket that cost about $275. So I paid cash for my ticket, and then my companion was able to come with me for free. But that being said, I really had to go out of my way to actually make that happen because I wouldn't have normally flown with Delta on that route. Right, so just keep that in mind. If it's something that you're not already planning on doing, it's kind of just a clever way for Delta to get you to essentially spend another $300 or so with them and then give you a 50% discount on that ticket. So just something to keep in mind. If you're always traveling with your significant other, or you're traveling with your family, maybe it's easier to use than it was for me, but I'm not the biggest fan of that perk. Now, obviously you get the same perks as the gold card with priority boarding. I don't think that's anything to write home about. Sure, you get to get on the plane a little bit earlier, but it's not like you get a better seat, nothing like that. It's nothing even close in comparison to the status and the perks that you're gonna get if you actually have status with Delta Airlines. Now, the one benefit that I think is definitely valuable, especially if you're flying Delta, is the free checked bag. This doesn't only apply to you, it applies to 2 other people that are on the same reservation as you. So with that being a $25 charge just for one bag, it's gonna add up pretty quickly if you fly Delta with any sort of consistency. Now, I think the big appeal of having any Delta credit card is for the revenue waiver, right? So if you don't already know this, Delta, they have this requirement that in addition to either flying a certain number of segments, so a certain number of flights, and then hitting a certain number of miles to get different status levels, they also have a revenue requirement. So they essentially say that if you want to become gold status, if you want to become platinum status, you have to fly a certain amount of times, or I'm sorry, you have to spend a certain amount of money with Delta Airlines. Now, once you have the credit card and you're able to spend more than $25,000 on the credit card, then you no longer have to fulfill that revenue requirement. So that's just something to keep in mind there. Now, what I think is a really valuable perk of this card that you really don't see from hotel cards or anything like that is they give you what is called MDQs, right? So or MQDs rather, they're medallion qualifying dollars. So that's a pretty beneficial perk. It's a really easy way to reach status at a faster level. I won't really jump into too much about earning status with Delta Airlines because I assume if you're watching this video, you have a pretty good understanding of what the requirements are to hit the different status levels with Delta. So the extra medallion qualifying dollars and the medallion qualifying miles that they give you with the card, you'll see those right up on the screen. I think those can be valuable as well. All in all, I think this is a pretty good card. I think that the Delta Gold card, I have another video explaining that, is a little bit better of a value proposition for the average traveler. I think that this card is going to be primarily intended for people that fly with Delta Airlines a lot. They have status and they want to be able to continually get that status year over year. So if you have any questions, feel free to put them down below. If you liked the video, I hope that you would give us a thumbs up and then also subscribe to this channel for more helpful videos into the future. Thanks so much and have a great day.